Hello there, welcome to my second video on force systems. This is a second problem which is going to involve exactly the same principles that I talked about in my first video. If you haven't seen my first video, then watch it. It's quite good for explaining the basics of how to resolve your forces in a force system. So right here we could pretend that this is a beam going across here and it's joined to the wall, and there's some forces acting on here. All imaginary, of course, but yeah, they've got to resolve to zero. So what we do here, we've got the resultant of the two forces has a magnitude of 110 newtons and makes an angle of 60 degrees to the x-axis. Find the magnitude F and the angle of F. So we're trying to find F in this angle here. But we know that resultant of these two forces has a magnitude of 110 newtons and makes an angle of 60 degrees. Okay, so straight away, my little way of doing things, I'm going to call this force A, this force B, and let's just work out force A. What is force A in terms of horizontal and vertical components? Well, that's fairly easy because you've learnt that in the last video. So FA is equal to 100 sine 40, and this is your I value because we're finding this value here. That's positive, it's going that way, plus 100 cos 40, that's your J value. That's FA. We don't have enough information to find out FB or find F because we haven't been given an angle or a value, but we do know that that plus that equals a resultant, or the resultant, which has a magnitude of 110. So if we just draw down here another little diagram and we say that this is the force resultant of both of them and it has an angle of 60 degrees and it's of magnitude 110 newtons. Okay, what you might be confused about is an X here. Sometimes they do put an X-axis here, but you always resolve your forces into I and J. That's just the engineering notation for them. So right, what we can do here is we can resolve this one into I and J. That's quite simply 110 cosine 60 gives us an I, and 110 sine 60 gives us our vertical. Just like that. Head to tail resultant. Okay, so we'll go here and we'll just solve this one here. Is equal to 110 cosine 60 plus 110 sine 60. This is J. Okay, now you probably already guessed where this is going. If this is equal to this FA plus FB, then quite simply to find FB we'd minus FA off FR. So FR minus FA, which is equal to, let's work these values out, 110 cos 60, 110 cosine 60 gives you 55 minus 100 sine 40 gives you 64.27876. Just being precise because we want to, I'll just put that in brackets and say that's the I, and this is FB equals that, and 110 sine 60 equals 95.263 minus 100 cos 40, 76.60. You work that all out. 55 minus 64.278776, and we get negative 9.28, rounded up, I plus 95 5.263 minus 76.60, 18.66 J. Okay, cool. Now we can just work out the magnitude of that by doing the old 9.28 squared. You guys should know how to do this if you watched the first video. And that will equal, just another note as well, you probably know on your calculator that you'll have a polar to Cartesian and Cartesian to polar function. So you can use that if you want, but it's good to know that what's actually going on when you press those buttons on the calculator. So here we found the magnitude, but we still need to find the angle that F makes. Well, we can draw out what's going on here. We know it's negative I, so if we just draw our little axes here, we know it's negative, so let's just say this is negative 9.28 and this is 0 here. We can draw up here our 18.6. Then our resultant is going to be just simply down here, right? That makes sense. So if we wanted to find out this angle here, how are we going to do that? Easy. Just tan of angle 18.6 over 9.28. So let's just do that. It's really simple stuff though, you should know how to do this. 18.66. Oh, and for now we won't take the negative value, we'll just use the positive value because we just want to work out that angle without any reference to any other axes at the moment. So we're just working this out. So quite simply, you should get a 53, I believe it is. No, hold on. Sorry about this. Shift 10, that. Okay, you should get a 63. Sorry, 63.56. Now, it doesn't matter, you could leave that there and just say it's making an angle on this side, but you need to be clear which way and how you're making your angle, with what reference you're giving your angle. So what might be nice to do is they've given the first angle with reference to the x-axis, so if we just bring it back straight to here and give this angle, that might be nice. So if we just go 180 minus 63.56, and you get 116.4 degrees. And that is F, and the angle that F makes to x-axis. Cool. I hope this video was helpful and showed you a little bit more about how to solve force system problems. Please subscribe, I'll be uploading more videos soon.